So the Creed Aventus scent profile, some people, they're over that sort of scent profile of Creed Aventus. But then again, you have other people who do still enjoy wearing fragrances that either smell like Creed Aventus or Aventus itself. So in this video, I have here a new clone of Creed Aventus, and this is going to be Imperia from Rayhaan. All right. So as you can see, man, this is a 100 ml bottle. It comes in a pretty, minimalistic, I would say very sort of designer-esque type of, bottle or box, I'm sorry. So it's very compact, very simple. You have here Rayhaan Eau de Parfum Imperia for him, and this is a part of the Imperia collection. You got nothing on the top here. On the side, you've got some Arabic writing. As this particular company, it is based out of Dubai. And you have like the manufacturer date and some of the other information on here on the bottom. All right. For the most part, all around like the sides of the fragrance on the front and pretty much on the back, you've kind of got this design. And that design, it also carries over to the bottle as well. All right. So the front of the bottle, it looks kind of like a Bleu de Chanel bottle for the most part. And you've got the name of the fragrance here on the front. You've got that design on the back of the bottle in white. And then you've got the concentration sticker at the bottom there, and there's really nothing on the cap. All right. Also, the atomizer, it does seem to be pressurized, so it is a pretty decent atomizer, I would say. I would say it is better than the Armaf, I would say, in terms of the atomizer. And I mean, pretty much, man, with this fragrance, I would say pretty much what you get with this is you get a much stronger version of Creed Aventus. Now, there are some slight little differences between this and Creed Aventus. I would say at points in this fragrance, this one can come off a little bit sweeter than Creed Aventus, but so does this one as well. This is definitely, at least compared to this 2018 batch of Aventus that I have here, this one is also slightly sweeter than Aventus. But I would say the main thing with this one is this definitely is a lot stronger. Also in the opening, you get more of sort of like a more natural pineapple smell, as opposed to this one. I feel like although this one is definitely a lot more smoother than, let's say like the EDT, this does kind of have like a slight sort of tinge of like a lemony type of feel within the top. And I would say as it starts to dry down, it definitely starts to become a little bit more natural smelling. But I would say this one pretty much, just from the opening spray, it smells, I would say, higher quality than what the Armaf does. Now, once you start getting into, I would say, like the mid and the dry down, if you're comparing, if you're comparing it side by side with Creed Aventus, the main difference that I notice is the notes just seem to be amplified a lot more in the Rayhaan than what they are in the Aventus. Now, I would say that the Aventus it does have a better blend to it. So that, I would say, is where the Aventus definitely wins. The blend quality is definitely better than this Rayhaan. But I would say that even though the blend quality in the Aventus is better than the Rayhaan, the actual, I would say, the perception of the smell is, I would say, in my opinion, a little bit better in terms of what my tastes are. I would say for this particular scent profile, this is something that I do want to be a little bit louder. I do want it to project. And when I wear Aventus, I mean, it doesn't really matter, like I said before in the past, doesn't really matter what batch of Aventus I've tried. For the most part, I can kind of smell it for maybe like the first hour or so. And then after that, it just becomes a complete skin scent. And normally it's pretty much gone after about I would say probably 4 hours or so. Whereas with this one, I would say that I'm getting about 7 to 8 hours or so of longevity with this fragrance. So this one is absolutely performing a lot better than the Aventus is. It also, I would say, has better projection than the Armaf does as well. So that is a huge plus, I would say, especially considering the fact that the Armaf, I want to say, normally goes for around, I want to say, just under $60 or so. I think on Joma Shop, you can typically pick this one up for about $55 to $56. Whereas this Rayhaan, it is now sold out, but I was able to pick this up from Amazon for, I believe, about $33. So, and this again is 100 ml. This, I believe, is 105 ml. So, I mean, they're basically about the same size bottles. But, you know, again, this is almost about half of the price as what the Club de Nuit is. And I would say that this one definitely performs better. And it actually, I would say, has slightly better quality than what the Club de Nuit does. All right. So the main things that I would say, especially in the far dry down that I noticed with the Rayhaan, is the birch note seems to be amplified a lot more. I would also say that the moss note seems to be amplified a lot more than Aventus. And then also, I would also say that the jasmine note is amplified. So those definitely allow this to kind of jump off of my skin a lot more than what the Armaf and the Creed do. And so I would say pretty much if I only had to pick one of these, you know, whether it was the Aventus, the Armaf, or this one, I would absolutely pick this one. All right. Now, like I said, this one is currently, as far as what I can see, it is pretty much sold out. I haven't seen this on any other sort of websites that normally sell Middle Eastern fragrances. The only site that I was able to find this on was Amazon, and it was being sold directly by Amazon. So I would say at that point, you know, I know some people are kind of hesitant to buy fragrances from Amazon. As long as it's directly from Amazon or from like another store that has a good reputation, like Oud Store or Intense Oud or something like that, then I would say you're still good to buy fragrances from Amazon. But you know, since this came directly from Amazon, I didn't have any problem with buying it from there, and they were able to get it out to me, you know, pretty quickly. So I would say definitely be on the lookout for when this becomes available again directly through Amazon. And once it does, as long as the price is, you know, around the same price, you know, that low $30 range, then I would say absolutely scoop this up. I would say even if it goes up to maybe $40 to $45, I would say that this is still worth it. And again, I mean, if you're somebody that still enjoys that Creed Aventus scent profile, then I would say this is definitely going to be one that you'll want to pick up, because again, it does have better performance than the original Creed. All right. So definitely let me know if you all have actually smelled this fragrance, and if so, how close do you think that this actually comes to the original Creed Aventus? In my opinion, I would say this is at least about 90% or so close to the original Creed Aventus. Like I said, it just seems to be a slightly sweeter but more amplified version of the fragrance. All right. So let me know in the comments, what do you all think about Rayhaan Imperia? And once again, if you're brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. And again, that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see you on the next video.